a black dude doing that too. You see that with that mask going around and all of that. I'm surprised it was a black guy.
I don't know why I did that.
Hello and good evening, everyone, and welcome to The
The
Truth
truth
Behind
behind
the
the
Truth.
truth.
Hoping everyone is having a fantastic evening and day and wherever you are joining us.
Mhm.
Slight apologies for last night not being live. I had a little an operation yesterday, so I wasn't able to be functional. So we are here tonight to make up for last night. All right. And we thank Charles for arranging his schedule to be here tonight with us for tonight's broadcast, and letting you guys know that next week is our season finale hiatus. Our season finale next week. Our special guest will be my cousin, our family member Twana Scott. She we'll be asking, but elaborating on her book release. And we'll talk quite a bit about that as we wrap up the season. For the sixth season of The Truth Behind the Truth. We have made it. We have made it, even though you guys weren't with us the whole season. But it's okay. I ain't gonna talk about you right now. Some were, somewhat, were, but hey, if you hadn't gotten any information from us at this point, I don't know if you ever will, because we're gonna keep going higher.
Well, life keeps life, and that's all I can say. Charles, how you been doing?
I'm hanging in there. I've lost almost 5 friends and family over the last 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh. My gosh. You doing okay?
You almost missed me tonight because I'm just not in the mood.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll be able to cheer you up a little bit here, and things of that nature. But sending good energy to you, because with you included, it's just a lot of loss that's going on around. I mean, a lot of people transitioned in the past 24 hours. And within the past week, a lot of people just transitioned. I lost a cousin last week, who I hadn't seen since I was a baby, not baby, but a child, but, one of my oldest uncle's son, So it has just been, a lot of transition that has happened. I wish I had a word for that, but I really don't. It's not much that I can say, in that regard. It's happening. I think that we should be paying attention to it strongly enough, family and otherwise, because, of course, as we know, yesterday Dolly Parton transitioned. Yesterday, I kind of had a feeling that something was going to happen because she wasn't really forthcoming about her sickness that she had been going through. And I said that, so she's probably got some form of cancer that she's not telling anybody about, because things just happen kind of quick with her, and what have you. But again, a well-loved artist, well-loved person, well-loved philanthropist. And if you don't pay attention to what people do, you never know what they do. You know what I mean? Just how many people that didn't pay attention to what Michael did. At the end of the day, we have another overlay up there, Charles, about what we just might as well go and talk about it real quick about what I'll grab it if you don't see the one with Whitney Houston.
Oh no,
you said I'll grab it if you don't see it. Where is it? I did see it.
It's up.
It's up. Oh yeah, okay. So this is one of the things that has just, I think, probably blown a lot of people's mind. You can speak to this very much so. Especially being, the Whitney side of everything and watching kind of both, things. Why don't you take this real quick? Just talk about the house that Whitney built.
Oh, well, I only know little snippets of the
it.
story, but the story is that she bought a property on the black side of Nashville. It was a strip mall, and with the proceeds that the song that Whitney, well, she wrote the song.
Right. Yeah.
She wrote the song and sang the song first, which was a hit. And Whitney's song was global.
Right.
That, I mean, not to take away from Dolly's version, but Whitney's version was so global that it made Dolly so much money that, there was a situation that happened where she found out on the black side of Nashville that there was a situation where there were some people who either were losing the property or something was happening where people were going to become homeless. I forgot the story, but I do recall that she did buy that property and she named it the house that Whitney built because the money that was used to buy that property came from the profits that
the royalties
that Whitney, the Whitney song garnered during that
10
time.
million.
So,
over $10 million.
oh yeah, I mean it might have been more than $1 billion because let me tell you something. Dolly
was in
owned
1992.
that song.
Yeah.
Dolly owned her publishing.
But
And
that
you
10
got-
million was only for 1992 when they came out.
Right.
It can't have a lot more sense. They just didn't tally it up yet.
Yeah. I mean, she might have, because she could have been a billionaire, but she was such a philanthropist that she gave as much as she could give, and plus she put so much stock into Dollywood too. But also to tell you this little, what you say, Charles?
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Okay, just to add this little tidbit, Elvis wanted to record that song as well. And the reason why Elvis couldn't record that song because his manager blew up the deal by trying to get her to sell over half of her publishing of that song to Elvis or to him.
Oh my God.
And she was like,
no,
it's my song. It was a hit before Elvis.
Right.
I own the publishing, and she said, hey, I'm sorry, Elvis, but I'm not gonna let y'all just control my music and my song.
Right.
So yeah, when Whitney came and Kevin Costner gave Whitney and Arista the idea of recording this song, and David Foster produced it. She didn't even know about it, to be honest with you. But hey, she had full total control of the song. And once they played it on the radio, she was like, "Oh my goodness,
right. Yeah.
Oh my freaking goodness! This woman, these people took my song and blew it out, just blew it out." So I mean, Dolly is just a different. I have to say this too. What made Dolly so special was really what made your girl from the Golden Girls special, Betty White. These women, they really weren't too political, but what their actions showed was that they were about people.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter what religion, what race, what sexuality, they put their money where their mouths were, and they didn't have to go and advertise.
Right.
The same thing with Michael. These people were such good people that wherever they went, people adored and loved them for being who they were.
Right.
And it's sad that, you have people, the total sales of, it's so sad that you have people who have agendas that they have to push, that it does crowd what the talent that they have, because not, people are looking at the agenda instead of the talent. Dolly didn't have any agendas.
Right.
Dolly just had a good heart.
Right.
And that's what really broke the mold with her, with a lot of people, especially Black people, because with what she did, that showed her to Black people that she was about us. She was about people. She didn't care about what other people were thinking if she would have did so and so. She was about people.
Right. Exactly.
And that's what made her so special. Now, Charles, whatever you want to say, go on and take it.
Why you say it like that? I didn't. No, you hit it pretty much all on the head. She was a genuine person, and her town appreciates her for her because the Dollywood has employed so many people in that area, and she, like you said, she's always out there advocating for the people. You can't. There aren't many people that have a genuine heart to everybody.
Right.
She was one of
That's
those people. She neglected herself during the time her husband was sick. And she said that about 3 days ago. She goes, I was dealing with some health issues, but I felt it could go on the back burner until I took care of my husband.
right.
A true wife. And so she did what she did. And she's going to be missed.
Yeah, truly. I mean, it's good to see the outpouring of love that she's getting all over the world. Maybe even down to the royal family. That King Charles.
I don't care about what
the King Charles did. Well, King Charles did play 9 to 5. He had the royal band play 9 to 5. In honor of her. So I mean, it's good to see that the recognition, regardless of the personal endeavors that may circle around about them. The efforts of them taking the point to be able to necessarily to do that on this side of the pond, as a rule. So that meant that I'm sure Dolly visited England on different occasions, and brought her idea of what love and culture to the royal. What am I trying to say? To England. Okay, what I'm trying to say. But it's just great, to see that. But anyway, we're gonna go on.
Please do, because I don't agree to that. I don't agree to that niceness, performative tribute, because you got a whole son, and I'm gonna break this up. You got a whole son and a daughter-in-law who finally they just dropped their bags in the UK, and you still are not protecting your grandkids. I know, but I feel some type of way with that tribute to Dolly Parton. I'm sorry, I don't want to care about no royal family.
Hey, darling, throw the tagline: the truth behind the
truth. That's right.
That's right. Let's keep it real. Keep it a buck.
Keep it real, because that ain't nothing but performative niceness. That ain't got nothing to do with Dolly Parton.
Talk real life. That's what this show is about. Not like the news media today. We candy coding and we're hiding things and we're doing a narrative to show other people. No, keep it real. Keep it 100. Life is life, and we have to maintain that.
All right, then.
But anyway, so let's go to the next individual.
You're on timeout, darling.
Tim Curry. Tim Curry, very very known actor, character actor, pretty much so far. A lot of he transitioned.
Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
Yeah. And Rocky Horror Picture was his kind of breakout role as the lead transy in the movie film, that. And Tim Curry has been around me from Clue and he's
a good actor.
Huh?
He's a good actor.
Yeah. He was around for several of the different films. As a whole, I liked him on Will and Grace too. It was funny on Will and Grace scene when what's his name got married to Karen. It was kind of neat too.
He was good in Home Alone too.
Yeah,
he was really good. In Home Alone
too. He did a lot. And actually, he lived not far from here. He was right 2 weeks away.
I know that.
Like right around the corner from us. He was
more of a character actor.
Well, yeah, he was. He was. But apparently, he had been battling he had a stroke about in 2012, and it's been kind of rough. I didn't realize he had been in and out of the picture with that issue for a while. And sometimes you just see people on their forefront of different projects they've done, and you just kind of think that they're in circulation, and which they really aren't a lot of times,
I'm still trying to get, because one of my favorite movies, and he knows that I love Jennifer Lewis, but I love the Lifetime TV comedy Jackie's Back. I'm still trying to figure out how much did Robert Townsend pay to get him to do that movie in the back of my mind, because he was such a because they did the movie in 1999. So I don't know if his career was not on the downslope. I don't think it was ever on the downslope. I think, to be honest with you, he was doing more films overseas, because he was, one of those European actors that also did stuff here in the U.S., but he did more overseas. But I wonder how much he had to pay him to do the commentary on Jennifer Lewis movie Jackie's Back, because that movie is such I don't know if people really remember it, but it was such TV gold back in the day. And the saddest thing about it is they can't do a sequel to it because they don't own the copyright to it. I don't think Robert Townsend owns he has ownership of the copyright, all the rights to the film. Yeah. Okay. So it's just the fact that, I'm still kind of amazed that they could get somebody of that type of talent to do that film. because it wasn't really a big film or big what you call
a big
budget,
right?
Yeah, film.
Well, you know, and the thing about it is you got to remember that, you know, actors are actors regardless of their status, you know, and everyone is always looking for a job. You know, I mean, especially if you haven't done something in a number of years and something comes along to pay, I mean, help you pay your rent your next month, they're gonna take that gig, you know. So
you're right about
you
that.
know, you can't, you know, we can't assume that because and everybody's not high up on the scale. I mean, you know, they, you know, and well, all three of us can speak that, but I think that Charles and I, about being on set, can be a little bit more necessary than you have. Is that, you know, it depends on what you're cast for, because if you're cast for a day player, and if that day player role doesn't last all week, you know, you may get $1,500 for that particular day, and that's it. Now, what if you got, what do you got tomorrow? What do you got the next day? What do you got, you know, things of that nature. So, and then the general audience may see you in that particular show at some point, but that certainly doesn't set your status for, you know, for your life, you know, at the end of the day. That's why the audition process and all that, you know, has to go on, and you have to keep working. You know, just like anything else, you got to keep working it.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, so we're gonna move on past on to Tim Curry. Rest in power. You know, you'll be missed on this side again. Dolly definitely rest in power.
They both died at the age of 82.
Yeah, both. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
that's a coincidence.
Yeah, it is. And then last week we kind of got past Hayden Panettiere, which she transitioned last week. I mean, just all of a sudden, you know.
38.
Be like Natalie Wood.
What is that?
38 years old. 38
years old. Yeah.
But her story's becoming to be like Natalie Wood, because there's so much mystery to what had happened, to how she had passed, and many stories are coming out to the fact that her ex-husband and his brother were in the room during her time of her passing and all this other stuff. It's becoming to be almost really one of those stories that people are trying to figure out what really happened.
Well, you know, and unfortunately, it's such a beautiful young lady.
Yes,
you know,
it was.
And what a troubled life, you know, because I mean, she brilliant actor. I mean, you know, just everything she does, she captured the camera. She was a scene stealer. You know, and I mean, my favorite of her. Well, I did like her on the cheerleader role that she's doing, but
Heroes.
Heroes, yeah.
Heroes,
but Remember the Titans. I mean, that she stole the whole movie.
Yeah, I just didn't follow her career.
You know, I mean, she stole the whole movie. I mean, she was just great as the 10-year-old, you know, in the film. I mean, every move she stole the film. She was just great. You know, I mean, at the end of the day. So you know, you have to think about a lot of these young actors and not getting too deep into the personal side of it, but you know, with their mother and then with their dad, and then they have these kind of strange marriages and relationships and stuff. Because her mother was not, well, let me not say the best. Okay, there was issues, okay, with her mom as well, and that's coming out at this particular point in time, you know, as well. So a lot of this, you know, kind of gives a framework, because she ended up having substance abuse, because she had postpartum from her birth of her child, and then she had other issues that were going on in her life that she couldn't just really balance out. So she had substance abuse problems, you know, I mean, as well. So, but it's so sad to see that such of these brilliant actors, young actors, have a turmoiled life, you know, behind the camera, you know, and they're through bad parenting or parenting not doing, you know, the right things or whatever the case may be. And I don't want to speak too deep on that, because it is different things that are coming out. But then they make choices about relationships that are not healthy. You know, and then this relationship that she was in with her ex-husband or whatever, he was abusive to her at one point, you know, throughout the course of the marriage and things. So, but anyway, not to display all of her open up her garage door and let everything fall out, you know, at the end of the day. Hey, we wish you well, you know, on the other side. Again, somebody that's gone way too soon, you know, and that. But then again, we can't even say way too soon, because the universe and our great God knew exactly when she was supposed to go. You know, on our side of it, it may appear to be that way, but she fulfilled what she was supposed to fulfill. You know, she's touched the lives that she's touched, and then, you know, she accepted her calling back. You know, And then we just have to accept the same way with Dolly, the same way with Tim. Most people weren't expecting Dolly to transition at the point that she did,
but nobody ever want Dolly to have to go or check out of the hotel, as my uncle used to say. But we wanted somebody else.
And there's a lot of people who wanted somebody else.
Yeah, we really needed, the other person to go, and I'm happy that that's now being, the tagline on social media right now.
It really is.
It's something to really say to globally to the world at large that we don't support this craziness that's this fool is now put forth to the world that we as a country are about. We're not about this craziness.
Right.
We want peace. We want some form of.
Sorry, I hit a button, Charles.
Of civilized unions.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is what it is, though. But we did Grim Reaper, wherever you are, we out here waiting for you.
Well,
right?
maybe.
What you say?
No, so maybe this video can kind of elaborate on who we are referring to.
I don't have to call his name out because I know that many people out there are praying for the day.
Right.
Rude praying for the day of the demise of what's going to happen to
he shall remain nameless.
Yeah, he doesn't hold no power over here.
Right. Well, he's gonna be named in this video. Here we go.
For you to pay a tiny little bit more for your gasoline.
No. Those of us who are not in your cult, we're not going to play this shit. We're not buying it, and we're not going to put up with it. You're not going to ask us to sacrifice anything for you anymore. You've made $2.2 billion since you came back into office, and your sons are making drones and cyborgs now for war. So they want war to make money. We're not doing this. We've seen this happen before. And even the neocons of the early century, in the early 2000s, like Dick Cheney, some of the biggest war hawks in the world, John Bolton, didn't try this stuff in Iran for various reasons. And they're all playing out. You're going to declare the Strait of Hormuz a U.S. territory? That's right, people. He said that right before he made this remark, asking us to sacrifice more for him. This is the biggest con fleece that has ever been foisted on the United States. MAGA and Donald Trump. Okay? And wake up while you can. Because the rest of us who aren't in this cult, we're going to be able to say to our grandchildren down the road, we never supported this. We never supported this man. And the least you can do if you're MAGA right now is back off so you can say, you know what, I came to my senses. I was wrong. This guy's asking us to sacrifice more for him. This isn't about terrorism. This has nothing to do with terrorism. I guarantee you that. This has to do with leveling an entire country so that they can go in and make more money. And not for you, not for me, not for the average citizen. This is a fleece. The oil companies are making out like bandits. The Trump family is making out like bandits. And they are bandits. They are thieves. Okay? We're not putting up with this. If you want to put up with this, if you want to sit here and do this and simp for these people, you're a propaganda monkey. That's it. And you're causing us a lot of pain. Go away, Donald Trump. Go away, MAGA. Really, seriously, spare us all. We don't have anything left to sacrifice for Donald Trump and his pockets, his money, his bank account, and his family that is siphoning us, siphoning everything we've got right now. What bullshit.
And the way he talks, for your gasoline. My God, wake up.
Go ahead, Charles.
I don't have anything to say. He hit it right on the head. He said it all. It's a mouthful.
Yeah. The saddest thing about this situation is that, can you hear me? Can you hear Charles?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The saddest thing about the situation is that we didn't have to go in this direction. I'm gonna keep repeating that. We didn't have to go in this direction, but you have a bunch of people who believe in the American exceptionalism situation of making us the shining beacon in the world and doing things that really is based on colonialism. And this man was for some strange reason, he went out and really campaigned on America first. Now, I thought when it boiled down to it that it was going to be investing more into American manufacturing, putting more, trying to make sure that people had jobs and all this other stuff and all this tariff business, inflation stuff going away. Those who live in reality knew that this man was never going to do that, knowing of his past, knowing of the fact that he has filed Chapter 13, not paying his vendors their justice. We knew. Just look at Atlantic City. If you look at Atlantic City, you're looking at the nation right now. I don't understand why people don't do research. It's so sad, but hey, this is America. People want to blame it all on the fact that there's too much information flying around and all this other stuff. Well, you know what? You do what you want to do on your spare time. I'm just gonna give you that. You do what you want to do. And that's the saddest thing about it, is that when there's this type of corruption in your face, it's up to you to want to be mad and to be aware. But no, you got to watch football. You got to know who's in between Beyonce's legs and all this other stuff. That's your prerogative. I lived in my mind in the real world. I knew this fool was going to do this. I knew that once we went into this conflict with Iran, that it was going to be a kerfluffle, a mess, because I kept saying this in the past few shows. Look at the Strait of Hormuz. Look to the Strait of Hormuz. Look to it. Just look to what's going to happen globally, because of the fact that these people for years have controlled this what you would call ocean. I call ocean property, basically, which is a global way for gasoline and all types of trade to go through. I keep forgetting it's more like a port, but it's not even a port. The Strait of Hormuz. Okay. It's not a port, but still, though, at the end of the day, the fact that he's trying to control this ocean property, and then on top of that, blockade it to the point of making money and profit off of it, really tells me that he is about making sure that he takes the profit, he takes the money. It's no investment of making this country better, it's making him better. So the corruption is very telling, and you have people who are still drinking the Kool-Aid and not wanting to see what it is for what it really is. It's just so sad that most Americans, hey, I'm going to call it for what it is. Most Americans have allowed the minority, which is of the hateful MAGA cult, to control the narrative that this country is in full support of all of this. We're not in full support of anything that this fool is doing, right. And that's the problem.
Well, it appears to be that, but here lately, just like the gentleman that we just played a minute ago, there's a lot of people that are coming forth and really speaking out against what's going on, or whether it's going to carry enough weight, we don't know. Okay. It's good to hear that the vocal side of it. It's good to hear that there's groups and major groups of people that are standing in solidarity to see these changes happen. But as we all know, collectively, what's going to happen is going to happen in November. Okay. And that is where the initial focus is needed to be, because if it doesn't happen, then we're going to have more chaos coming in next year. At least it's something, a switch of power, something happens, during the midterms in the Senate and the Congress. Yes, there will be some things that may be adjusted, and we're going to have to look at the fact that there's going to be more levels of stuff. What am I trying to say? Hopefully that this change will happen in November, but then there's always the side that's combating or trying to combat that from happening, or either we'll try to stand to make those things that they're going to put in legislative positions not to happen. So the battle is going to continue, is what I'm trying to say, at the end of the day. And I just really don't know how to really position our thoughts. But the only thing I think that we as Americans can do at this point is to prepare to vote, and to hopefully, and within every state, do your best to turn your state either purple or blue. Okay, at the end of the day, and let's get this stuff moving, because if you don't like what he's doing, of course, most of us do not like what they're. And the sad part about it is there are some people who feel like he's doing a good job, but I don't understand. I don't understand how you justify your gas prices. I don't understand how you justify the economic system month by month keeps going higher, that you can't afford opportunities. Or I don't want to say can't afford, but it's not in your range of your budget you set aside. Okay, so I mean, I don't understand how we can't see, or people can't see these things. You drive up to the pump every time you get gas, it is in an inch of 50 to $1 more than where you were paying at one point. But you are accepting, like the video started out. He said, oh, it's okay for you to pay extra amount for your gas. How does somebody tell you that and you still support them? I don't understand.
We
that.
work for them.
No.
We work for people like that. Go ahead, Charles.
So let me put this warning up before we get started.
Okay.
I just want y'all to know that fuck Donald Trump. I can't stand that. And
Okay.
I want everybody to understand, anybody that voted for him, anybody that participated in his planning, that goes from Tucker Carlson to all the rest suckers on Fox News, all of them that was it, Officer Lafayette, whatever his name is, this old punk that's on TV every day talking about how Obama's stealing from the people, Trump is and we always, the black people so prejudiced against white folks. He can go to hell with this the Wells case, Nolan Wells. He's on there talking about how why we can't believe the white boys and stuff. We got all these distorted perspectives in black people that are helping. It's like when Harriet Tubman say, "We leaving," they go, "Well, I was gonna go back." She go, "I'll kill you if you go back. Get back in line and let's go." You got to damn near gangster them into doing the right thing. It's a shame. They got this mentality of, hey, if it ain't at my house, I don't have to worry about it. And then when it happens at their house, they go, "Well, ain't nobody else saying nothing about it." Now you want to join in singing the choir.
And to the niggas that didn't vote, where my Trump check?
Yeah,
I'm still waiting on a Trump check because that's what I was hearing during the campaign. These niggas who didn't vote, because we know a lot of them
soybean, cattle,
I know.
vegetables, all that stuff is going to hell. And now they're trying to give welfare to the farmers because they screwed them on these deals with these tariffs and stuff. And then they didn't give black guys nothing. They cut them totally out the picture. But we couldn't get welfare when the black folks needed it, but we can get it for welfare for farmers while Trump's in office. And this is crazy how we're doing this. Tariffs, I forgot who it is. Oh man, I have to find it. One of the foreign leaders came on and talked about Trump. I got to find it. That's
Canada.
he
the
told
one that we had the one that we showed last show.
No, this was worse. This was worse.
Okay.
I think I sent you guys earlier this week. I'll find it while we're on the show. But
Well, you know he's building tariffs against Canada.
Yeah.
And that's going to mess up with the auto plant business right there. It's going to mess with a whole lot of situations. So, I mean, to be honest with you, this man is doing so much devilment for the simple fact of wanting the people, whoever he thinks should be on our side. He's forcing them to give in so he can have some allies. Now, the crazy thing about it is that we had allies. We had people supporting us. But see, because of your crazy rhetoric and the fact that you thought he put out that we were going to be isolationists, that we were going to stay out of other people's situations, and it was going to be based on what we had over here. See, he pushed them away. Now he needs them.
Yep.
How does that work?
Well, you know, that I'm gonna say it this way: when you have somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, what do you expect when they don't know what they're doing? This man doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, at the end of the day, and then there's too much arrogancy, too much pride, too much all of those selfishness and everything to ask for the proper help. You know, at the end of the day, that wasn't. I mean, his whole cabinet doesn't know what they're doing. Nobody knows. I mean, you hire crooks and con artists to be your supporting cabinet, and then you expect them to know what they're doing. I mean, I'm surprised that what the number one crook does when Steve Bannon is not even on the forefront anymore at this point. I'm surprised that he didn't get elected to be what's one of the guys just got elected to the head of the
FBI?
No, not the FBI, but the other one,
The DOJ.
The DOJ.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't put Steve Bannon over the DOJ.
No, he tried all that. They wouldn't let Bannon in there. And it was like, he's a no-go, a no-starter.
Well, yeah, but you see my point.
But
You know
Bannon said, if they get the Democrats win the midterms, we're all going to jail. That's quoted.
Right.
And that's
And
the
good.
truth.
Behind the truth.
Is that why Hakeem Jeffries and Kushner had that
I don't
secret
know
Yep.
about that one.
Yep.
I don't know about that
Yes,
one.
it is. That is what
Okay.
they talked about. And he wanted immunity for all the people in these last pages of the Epstein files that didn't get convicted of anything. They don't prosecute. They want to prosecute them, and they don't want to put their names and pictures out.
Wow.
The FBI found proof that they actually molested little boys and raped
Well,
little
I'm not
girls.
surprised. I ain't surprised. You know, the majority of statistics say the majority of your molestations come from heterosexual white men. Anyway, I'm sorry about
Yep.
it, but white counterparts. I mean, it does.
Bestiality too.
And, you know, all of your sexual diversions, and see, they want to be. That's why they want to put the level and attention so much on gay people, because it's things that hide this shit up. I mean, we ain't talked about was it rest stops along the highways and in the byways and all the things that go on with white truckers. But you know, anyway, we're not there today. But it's the truth behind the truth. So you don't want to hear the truth behind the truth coming to your face, but you want to blame another group. Anyway, so I want to say, hey, we're going to move on to a couple of people tonight with Joe Master. We'll see you back tonight, and Dwight Robinson. Thank you for tuning in tonight with us as well. I know you're on my page of it. If you want to leave comments, you have to go over to the Truth Behind the Truth, or either go to the YouTube page, and then we'll see your comments up from there. But you have to go to the Truth Behind the Authentic Truth page on Facebook to be able to put your comments up if you want to see them on the show as well. All right, but anyway, we're gonna move on because we could talk about this stuff for hours, and then we don't really want to do our best not to be.
Let the economy speaks for itself.
Well, yeah, everything else speaks for it, but all of these other shows that continuously keep elaborating. Honestly, I'm frankly tired of hearing people that feel like they have a platform because they have Instagram and they have Facebook. Okay, because everybody that's saying stuff don't need to be saying stuff that they are saying, and they are putting erroneous information out there. The one thing you can always be, you can fact check us. You go back to every show and fact check everything that we've ever said to you, and we don't believe in bringing information out there that's wrong. We tell you the truth, we tell you about it, and that's why we are the truth behind the truth. But anyway, we're going to move on to our other fellow here. No, sorry.
Black.
There we go. We lost him.
Black Republican Byron Donalds just won the Republican nomination for governor of Florida. That should alarm us, but this is bigger than one man. He's the latest weapon in an international campaign of anti-blackness. Who is Byron Donalds? He's a grifter who pretended to be a Jamaican with a fake accent, married a black woman, hid his black wife from his white girlfriend, got the white woman pregnant, rushed his divorce, had a shotgun wedding, invited his black ex-wife to the wedding, borrowed the divorce money from her, became a Republican 1 month later, got elected to Congress from a white district, and never paid his black ex-wife back. He also sold drugs and got arrested twice, once for selling weed, once in a bribery scheme. No judgment, but he now supports a party with no compassion for other young black men who made mistakes. Rules for thee, not for me. Once in Congress, he got nostalgic about racial segregation because the black family was together back then, let a white man pat him on the head, stood there grinning while Donald Trump called him one of the smart ones, and called Trump his daddy on national television. And what did all that loyalty buy him? A Republican primary opponent called him a token and said he'd turn Florida into a Section 8 ghetto. Donald said nothing. He took it because that's the deal. They can call him anything they want as long as they let him in the room. And that's still not the worst part. The worst part is he's a willing tool in a right-wing campaign to promote white supremacy. The same campaign that ended affirmative action, canceled DEI, put ankle monitors on Haitians living here legally, and welcomed white South Africans to America. From Claudine Gay in Harvard to Jason Arday in London, the white right is systematically driving independent black people from power. They feign outrage about meritocracy when talented black people challenge them. Then they elevate incompetent people like Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, Herschel Walker, and Lindsey Graham's sister, Darlene Nordone, who was pushed into the Senate before her brother was even buried, who just admitted she knows nothing about national security. They bully us over missing quotation marks while promoting people who missed social studies class. This is why Trump wants Donalds to be his governor. He needs a loyal ally to protect his empire at Mar-a-Lago and plans to weaponize Donald's anti-blackness in politics, just like Republicans did with Clarence Thomas in the courts and Stephen A. Smith in sports. All these black people are paid mercenaries in a culture war fabricated by white conservatives to distract voters who can't afford gas, healthcare, groceries, while their self-anointed king builds a golden ballroom and travels the world in his flying palace. This election is bigger than one state, but I do care about Florida. My family's from Daytona. I went to high school near Tampa. I lived in Miami for 5 years. My great-great-grandfather even chaired the Florida State Republican Convention in 1912, back when Republicans still pretended to care about black people. He would be shocked to see what his party has become, and all with the complicity of bootlicking black people like Byron Donalds.
I'm on the campaign of, I'm in the campaign of Anybody you know who voted MAGA, you need to get and stay far, far, and far away. What Patti LaBelle did to that overgrown nephew, whoever he was, who voted for MAGA and lived in her house, kick their ass out. Because see, when you vote Republican, or you about that Republican life, you're supposed to be pulling yourself up from your bootstraps. If you are black and you voted Republican or MAGA, you're an operative. I'm sorry. I don't. There's something dead
Sell
against
out.
people. Yeah, basically. See, Byron Donalds, he is an issue. He's an issue that we need to de-alienate from, and people like him. Because if you can be a part of a system that is so eager to take away Black history, to make sure that you oppress and suppress the Black vote, and you do not either want this new system do not even want to give money to HBCUs. It's just that's the way they operate. Why even want to be a part of that? But we know why Black people want to be a part of that, because like he said, he wants to be the only one in the room that really gets the money, who gets the praise, the status. It's all about status with Black Republicans.
Can I read you?
That's why you have them. They are the only ones in the room. Go ahead, Charles.
Now, I have a statement from the Austrian government, an official statement. It says, the Australians replied to Trump's rant about NATO not being there for America. It's perfect. And they said, that's perfect, mate. So you run a country with 600,000 homeless people sleeping on the street tonight, a country where 40% of adults can't cover a $400 emergency room visit without borrowing money, a country where insulin costs more than a car payment, and people are rationing it to survive, a country where medical debt is the #1 cause of bankruptcy, a country where women are dying in a hospital, cars parked because doctors are too scared of an abortion laws to treat a miscarriage. You lock up more than of your own citizens than any other nation on earth, more than China, more than Russia, more than North Korea. The land of free has 2 million people in cages, and a quarter of them haven't even been to court or convicted of anything. They're just too poor to make bail. Now, when other countries see that and they talking about us, when did you say to yourself, I love President Trump? President Trump doing everything for us. He's doing it all.
You know, the sad part about all that is that the majority of those people that know that, they don't believe that the MAGAs, they don't believe that is true statements. And that's the part that I know kerfuffles me. I don't understand it when you get the truth behind the truth and the elements, and then you refuse to accept that as being the truth that there is. I mean, here it is, somebody outside. I'm trying to find some of the video that we played last week. I don't upload it again. That someone outside of America tells you what's going on, and you still do not accept and believe it. What's wrong with y'all?
It's called American exceptionalism. That's the way.
Is that what you want to call it?
That's the way it's always been. The saddest thing about that is the fact that there are people who do not care as long as there are other people who are not getting what they think that is of their birthright. The situation in this country is you have a demographic of people, a minority, who still controls the narrative in this country, where people of the majority allows that to happen. And the saddest thing about it is we could have universal health care. We could have a great education system. Right. But you know who don't want that?
Right.
Those. And we already know who those are.
Right.
Because they keep telling on themselves every time they bring up the fact that they call people like Obama socialists, communists. They call they allow this Epstein business to go on because, well, I think it's fine for a man to sleep with a 12-year-old girl and all that stuff. These are the people. These are the people who will sit up there and call Michelle Obama a man, but be the first one to not want to acknowledge that their first lady was a stripper. That is the people that we are dealing with right now. And those are the people who've been controlling the narrative for such a long freaking time. And the saddest thing about it is you have had European powers tell us to our face, y'all are a bunch of hypocrites. You have had the Russians tell us during the time of Stalin. Now you have Australia telling us. And the saddest thing, hey, at the end of the day, this is what we're going to have to put up with unless the majority do not wake the F up and realize that the majority has the power to make change. If you want to sit on your loins and say, and complain about the fact that we ain't got this, well, what they going to do for us? Hey, listen, this going to keep going until we wake up. I'm sorry. And the saddest thing about it is the minority understands this. The minority knows when to get up and make way for their vote, and they go vote. When are we going to get our make way and go vote for ourselves, for our preservation?
Well, and the sad part about it is the majority of these people don't believe that we're in the condition that we're in. And I just, every day, I look at people, and I'm uploading this other video too. We did play it a couple weeks ago, but I want to let it play again for you guys. Right in line with what you were saying.
Won't take it.
Give me a second.
Just because you have made it in some form of fashion. Listen, it be the ones like these hip hop folks. We talked about this in the preparation for this show. I am so happy that hip hop is now showing its coonish ways right now. I'm so happy to the fact that most hip hop rappers are coons, are showing the situation of them not being about black business. Did you even hear what the fool in Atlanta said? They had the black investment fair in Atlanta. I forget who his name is. Was it Rashad somebody? But he said he was not about black business anymore. We should not be about black business. Wow. Now, a few days down the line, you had Master P talking about, well, we shouldn't even be talking about slavery anymore because we should be bypassed that. My thing is this: when you have uppity, wanna be part of the upper crust, black folks telling the black rest of us sector of what we should be about, and it's not about black business anymore, we have a problem. We have a problem. And the problem is that we as a people have allowed these people of whatever status quo that they have become to tell us that we just wait with the white folks now. About we as a people are being lazy, sorry, we should just stop crying and weeping about our past and move up and move on. When has any other community have said that about them?
Not publicly.
Publicly.
Yeah, not publicly. I mean.
Okay, well let me clean that up, because being a hip hop fan and fanatic, I have to correct you on this. All hip hop artists are not bad, and it's not even a majority. It's the only ones they put on TV because the media is controlled by the propagandists. You got to remember what we're looking at. That's why it's like that. The guy just talked today about how Trayvon Martin, he got shot. First they showed him, it was a hoodie. And they didn't show him kissing his father or going to school or in a suit. First thing they showed. But when that white kid got busted, they showed him in a suit. Them guys, they found they caught in that cocaine ring at the college. They didn't show them or show their names till after it all came out. And then when they showed them in suit. They what do you call it? Your profile picture at the college, and they didn't even mention their names hardly. It was very low key. Didn't even come in. If they'd have been in one of the HBCUs, it would have been a big, massive video. They'd have been showing the pictures outside the campus. They already showed pictures with blunts in their ears, trying to show all kinds of stuff. But the white perpetrators, they get very. That's like them guys from the clothing manufacturer for men. Shit.
What's it?
Abercrombie and Finch. And they got busted. Yeah, they got busted for molesting little boys, and they've been doing it for years. And all you saw was a small caption, and they only got a couple of years in prison, which was I think was what you call it, push down the road or something. But I was like, oh my God.
But Charles, not too long ago, Target. Now this is going on with Target right now. You know they found a Halloween costume. Now somebody busted them about this caricature of blackface with a Halloween costume.
The 3D black mask.
go with now. This is going on right now. Yeah, it's a blackface Halloween mask.
Not the other guy that got caught, but the white.
No. This is Target
masks
selling. Yeah, this is Target. Now, not too long ago now, Jay-Z
Oh yeah,
did some investment with them. Now,
Yep.
Target,
Okay.
with Target for his new vinyl album, whatever he's doing with the Blueprint. My thing is this. Now, with that being said, now with all of this stuff that's going on or being spilled out about whatever that they're doing, Target, why haven't nobody from Jay-Z's camp or whoever said, listen, if this keeps going, we're not doing any type of business with y'all. Why can't you stand on some integrity when it boils
Jay-Z's
down
a
to your
sellout,
own
and he's a pedophile. He's a doggone he
Mm.
dated young girls under 16 years old when he's a grown ass man. Jay-Z's a sellout. He ain't for the people, never was for the people. Jay-Z's all about Jay-Z. That's why he rolled like he rolled. He like Trump. Everybody ever served with him, tried to put him on and support him. He didn't always kick them all to the curb. Now he out there on his own because he's a billionaire. He ain't got to do all that with them. He's a sellout. He's another coon, just like Byron Donaldson. Just like, well, Stephen A. trying to make amends, but I still think he lost his mind. Like Steve Harvey tried to get out there when he first got in office. I'm gonna go talk to the president, and and he's gonna talk to me. He went and said, "I don't know you. Don't even come here. Get out of here." And then he had to go home with his head tucked him out. Well, I was trying to extend the hand. Trump don't care about you, darkies. Why
But,
y'all worried about it?
the thing about it is that and all of these so-called fine wells, and if we want to put them in that category, these people have no power of the people. Number one, they have an alleged voice of something that they created in their own head, and you can't move anything in society unless you have the power of the people. That's why we need great leadership, and we don't have great leadership among the black side, great leadership on the white side, Asian, whatever. Because great leaders will be finding ways to mend fences. Okay, but we don't have any great leaders. We have people that talk. You know what I'm saying? We have people that run their mouth. We have a social media platform that runs their mouth. Speaking of which, we need to talk about it. But let me play this guy real quick that I just put up for you guys about the perception. We played it a couple weeks ago, but I just want you to hear about the perception that how America is across the
this is to the people of the United States of America. You realize that you are being seen by the rest of the world as no better than Russia, no better than China. You've threatened Canada, you've threatened Greenland, you have invaded Venezuela, you've starved Cuba, you've caused untold pain around the world. The Strait of Hormuz and the blocking of fuel supplies, oil supplies, has brought countries to their knees. And now your president is saying that he's going to make the Strait of Hormuz an American territory? Have you people lost touch with reality? Because whilsoever he sits in that chair, the American people are responsible. To go a little further, have a look at the way you are allowing him to treat you, your sailors, the disrespect he showed the bodies of your servicemen that came back, the way American citizens are being treated on the street, and you are allowing it. You are allowing it. The people of Iran rose up. Thousands of them were killed. And you sit back and you watch this man prey on the rest of the world. Disgraceful.
And I don't want to hear, oh Lord have mercy. Lord. Let's take a moment of silence for this picture. Lord have mercy. What a weak ass mother scooter. Anyway, yeah, he a weak ass mother scooter. Yes, I want to say I don't want to hear nobody talk about the fact that we have learned our lessons. We have learned the lesson of fascism and of the fact that we went over there and liberated countries that were built on dictatorship. When we have this, what that man is saying is what we were telling, and I'm going to repeat, the Germans in the 40s. We were telling these people that they were a part of the annihilation of a whole people because they supported Hitler through all of his mess. I am so happy that this man is telling Americans in these times that of our silence, of the fact that we have now put so much in stock into our economy and not really understanding where our tax dollars are going.
We haven't put anything in our economy.
No, because we are a part of this country too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care. At the end of the day, you go to work every day. I go to work every day. I have to pay for groceries and put money into gas and all this stuff. We both have to do it. So we're part of this mess too. I don't care who you voted for, what race you are, what sexuality, what gender, whatever you are. You are a part of the menace and of the abomination that is happening globally. And the saddest thing about it is most Americans, and I will raise my hand to this, because this is just the reality of the beast that I'm having to deal with. The fact is that we are too lazy to get up and do what is necessary. We are all lazy. We don't want to lose our place. We all don't want to lose our homes, our dignity. We don't want to lose anything because we are like the Germans. We are in fear of what could happen.
That's true. That's so true.
And that is the reality of the beast of most Americans, because we have allowed the minority, the Nazis. We have allowed the minority. Who were the minorities in Germany during that time? The Nazis. Most Germans didn't want to believe that Hitler was building concentration camps in Poland and in most of the parts of Eastern Europe. They didn't want to believe that they were stealing resources from countries that they invaded. They didn't want to believe in deportations. They saw it. They saw the deportations. They saw their neighbors being rounded up in the middle of the night. There were even, I'm a history buff. There was the wife of the man who started the Hitler Youth. His wife went to Hitler and said, I am seeing women and children slammed into trucks. And what is this about? And you know what he told her? Get this woman out of my house. I swear to you. You go read up on Von Schirach and his wife and the reason why they were kicked out. The saddest thing is that we as Americans are doing the same thing, and there's nothing and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, there's more we can do about this. But we are helpless. And just to sit here and think that history don't repeat itself, it's repeating itself right now. We got deportations. We have people who are now being rounded up. The reason why they're putting why are they putting ankle monitors on Haitians? It's like them
They've taken away the temporary
to round
status.
them up.
They've taken away the temporary visa status. And you know the crazy part about all that is, I said when they first started doing this with the Hispanics and the Latinos, don't be shocked when they start coming after all you. And the only way to come after all of us is to get the Haitians first, because you don't know the difference between a Haitian and an American black person. That's the only way they're going to tell the difference, is snatch you up, throw you up in one of them things so they figure it out. And everybody says, well, they won't do us. No, they won't do us. That's all they got to do is the Haitians, and that's automatically going to fall on us, just like Latinos. Well, I'm high complected enough that you can think, and I've seen the reports. They snatch people off the street because they think they Latino. They don't care nothing about that.
Thank you, Hunt, for your hypothesis on the history of where things are going. Okay, I sit here and not always in amazement of you when you bring your historical facts and the studies that you brought to life to the forefront. But I'm disenchanted with the idea of how this audience does not listen. And someone would take the lead and understand, even if it's just in the ranks of the community of this conversation that's going on right now, and say, share the truth behind the truth. because there's solid information that you need for your life. You know what I mean? And I don't make any apology for going back to this, because next week we're wrapping up our 6th season, okay? And from week by week by week, I have, Charles has, and some of our guests have brought solid information to the lives of people in the U.S. first, and then throughout the world. And yet and still, you don't support, and this is a segue that you don't support, you don't share, you don't talk about, okay? But yet you'll get behind a two-bit ass preacher that's keeping you down, pouring you down into a hole, and not giving you life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, how to get it, but you're going to sit behind one every Sunday, okay? And give your money to that, thousands of dollars. But you can't send $200, $300, $400 to the truth behind the truth. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it. On soapbox on that. I don't give a damn if you like it or not. Turn it off if you don't want to hear the truth behind the truth. Okay?
Just press like button.
There is a point. And there is a point that things need to be said and things need to be dealt with. This man just sat here and gave you a complete history lesson in less than 3 minutes about the way this country is lining itself up to be. But guess what? Oh, I don't have time. I'm not a politician. But you go to the Politically Sunday every morning and listen to that BS. Every Sunday morning you go to listen to political BS and never question it. Never question it. Now, there's a group of you, that's not all, but the general point of what I'm saying is, okay, I know I got off track about the guns. I know somebody said you just went out on a rant. Well, I did have to go out on a rant because I appreciate my husband. I appreciate Charles. I appreciate me and the value and the time that we spend to bring solid information to you. Solid information. Please, guys, share and like this program. Okay, share and like this program. Now I'm going to get back on track. So what you were just saying, in light of that, this country is in a position of complete downfall because of its, I don't even call it leadership, the people that are in charge, okay, because they're not leaders, okay, and they don't care, all right, they don't give a damn, period, they don't, all right, it's going to take us as a collective group, Black, white, Hispanic, Chinese, everything, to get your asses out and vote in November and any preceding election from there. Okay, I had a friend, and I'm going to put her ass on blast, okay, for defriending me on Facebook because I told her ass and her little five friends the truth. I'm sorry. 5 friends the truth. But that's okay. You're going to wish, Jurgensen, okay, that you didn't befriend me when it comes down to the end of the day, okay, because you're going to find out that everything I tried to tell you was the truth behind the truth. I don't care if you left me. That's okay. You live as a MAGA, and you're going to find out that as a MAGA, it's going to get crushed in the end, all right? I know I'm going off. I'm trying to. But at the end of the day, some things just need to be said, and some things just need to be fact, and some things just need to be said to tell people straight up, but you know how I am about that. Okay, I hold my tongue on a lot of situations, all right? But when it comes down to what's affecting me, my home, my grandchildren, and this country, we got to live here too. We got to live here too. We got rent in this property that we got to pay. Okay, Charles has got rent to pay. I don't want to go to the gas pump paying 3 times more than I should be paying to put gas in my car. I don't want to have to go to the Kroger Rouse and then decipher what I gotta pay for, and then look, I can afford the name brand because I can't pay for the name brand, but I got to get the off brand, and then the off brand is higher than the name brand. But we feel like this is okay. Y'all wake the block up.
Some people believe that's the way to go.
You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, so if I'm saying something that's offending your ass, get offended. Okay, if I'm saying something offended about where you go and sit down every Sunday morning, get your ass offended. Okay, because you should be offended by what's coming at you at the end of the day. But anyway, I'm digressing. Okay, go ahead.
All I'm saying, I wish we would go thinking about preservation. you know, people will rather go vote for guns and God, but instead of voting for what is going to make their lives better, which is a better, let's just say this, a financial situation is so much better than the fact that you voting on anything of any religion, of any agenda. You need to make enough money to survive right now. But the saddest thing about these folks who go out and vote for those things, they're not even thinking about the reality of what comes when you only vote for certain agendas, because you're not even voting for yourself. Right. Most rich people in this country, they know how to invest and vote and put money behind politicians that are going to work for their interests. We as working class Americans do not do those things because we're so busy. What's that man said in the movie My Fair Lady? Trying to live up to the middle class morality. Middle class morality. Why? Why are you so worried about who I'm dealing with behind closed doors? It's important to what you got going on. Sure. Charles, I won't want to know who you sleeping with. It's not my business. I don't care what anybody does. Right. Unless you are killing and stealing, then yes, I need to be worried about what you are doing. But your business is your business. I would rather for you to make enough money to survive, to make sure that you have money for healthcare, to make sure that you can even afford a car and a home over your head. But you got people in this country who are so busy sprouting ignorance about abortions, about stuff they would never have to deal with, because they're always trying to control somebody's situation. And that is the problem with America. We have too many people trying to control one's bedrooms, one's body, one's hairstyle, one's dress code, when you can't even afford your rent, your gas, your grocery. You can't even afford to just live. And those be the ones that be somewhere off in the Appalachia somewhere. I ain't even talking about those in the city. I'm talking about those out there who don't even know how to just get away from where they at, because that's all they know. And they're busy worried about what I got going on over here in LA. Why? But that's our problem right now. And the saddest thing is that when are we go, as the majority are going to defeat the minority? Those people, the minority that believes that their agenda trumps everything that's going on with the majority. Go ahead, Charles. I'm done.
No, hey man, I'm just I've deleted, unfollowed, don't call a lot of people, and a lot I've heard people say, "Man, you shouldn't take it so personal. It's just politics. Politics runs our whole lives. Where do we get that? It's only politics. Okay. We sit in the house. We sit because of politics. We have the cars we have because of politics. We pay the taxes we pay because of politics. We wear a seatbelt and stop at a stop sign because of politics. We can't drink in public because of politics."
They don't realize that.
So I'm trying to figure out where the disconnect comes from, you know, and then the blatant ignorance, and this is just me. Please, this does not associate with the folks of Truth Behind the Truth or anyone connected to it. These are all my own personal opinions, and I'm just going to say, if you're a person of color or a minority, you are a damn fool if you are out here supporting and backing this stuff. I got a friend keeps posting stuff about ISIS doing this job, but he's a damn convicted con. How you?
Well, the slave catchers were doing their job too.
And your ass was in jail. You listen to understand. Now, true, maybe you done something wrong, but everybody ain't done nothing wrong, and everybody don't deserve to be treated like an animal. Just walking the street. Right. They shot a kid 9 times, 5 in the back, 4 in the front, because the cop said he had his hand in his pocket. But if you shot him 5 times in the back, what was it? How do you know what he was doing in his pocket? I don't understand.
Charles, I would love for you to go back and repeat everything you said, because the censors were on you. You were telling the truth about something they just not.
This young man was a drug dealer. DA went after him. He had the cocaine and money with him. They came, he ran. He dropped everything, just hauled. He gets around the corner, out of camera view. They shoot him 5 times in the back. When he turns around, they shoot him again 4 more times. They said he had something in his pocket. If you shoot me in the back, how do you know what I got in my pocket? And I'm running from you. Where's the danger? See? Mm-hmm. And it takes 2 seconds to pop off 9 rounds. Bow, 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 bow. Don't take no time. That meant you never stopped. You just kept shooting till you couldn't shoot no more.
Right.
Yeah. This is what happens when you, as Black people, do not go vote in your local and state situations. You so worried about who the president going to be. You're not even worried about the judges, the sheriffs. You're not worried about the superintendent of your kids' education. You're not worried about the people who represent your state, your city. You're not out there doing what is necessary to protect your humanity. The reason why they can do those things, because we, like that man in Florida who the woman interviewed at the man's campaign party. Well, I don't get involved in our local situations because nobody has ever told me I had to go, because he didn't vote. He said, because she asked him, did you vote? He said no. And he was there just to get free food. But the saddest thing about it is he in Florida. And in Florida, they ain't worried about Black bodies nor Black humanity. So when you do stupid stuff like that, don't be surprised if the Blue, which I'm the Blue organization, they know who they are coming in and wrecking your lives, killing your children over meaningless stuff, and just picking up people because they can. Because you would rather sit there and not do nothing. I come from a state. I live between two cities, Selma and Montgomery. I grew up between two cities who those two places were a representation of the fact that the movement gave you the opportunity to let your voice be heard, but you would rather sit back and allow nothing to come forth or to do anything civic wise. And then you'll sit there and let people kill your community because that's what you know. You don't know nothing else, and you too afraid to just make your voice be heard. I don't know what to say, Charles, about stuff like that. Sometimes even when it comes up on my algorithm, the fact that you have now 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds are now being rounded up and being handcuffed because they look suspicious. I sometimes say to myself, why? Why would they think that a 12 to 13-year-old Black child looks suspicious? Well, I know why. I'm not stupid and dumb to that. But the saddest thing is about their parents. How could you live in a community or a town that believes that your child could look suspicious because he's wearing a hoodie with a backpack? And what are you doing to protect your children? The Voting Rights Act was there because of the fact that 4 girls were killed. Black people needed to protect their children. So what will protect their children? The vote. To have some say in their lives and some federal protection. Now we have given that away. And the saddest thing about it is now children are being killed because we have given it away.
You're right.
What are we going to do about this? It's sad though, Charles. I don't know what to say because like I said, we can sit up on our soapbox, but the one thing I will say is if you don't get out and vote, right, you can't complain or say anything that's going to help I'm so frustrated to the fact that these things are happening in my lifetime. But anyway,
it's on in our lifetime.
It's in our lifetime.
I think that we have shared a lot, and different perspectives, and I really hope that someone you can leave the wrap up, Charles. I want to leave it wrap, and I'm going to let our motivational speaker drop a line after I get through. It's we have done our part tonight. You know what I'm saying? We can turn the lights off. We can turn the cameras off. We can turn the computers off. Okay. It's up to you, American people, universal people, and whoever is picking up on our show, and watching it. I did go off about your likes and shares, and I'm going to keep doing that until you start liking and sharing it and doing things that you should by this show, because there's far too many podcasts and things like that you guys support that does not support you. And supporting you meaning giving you true and solid information about life to frame your community, your home, and your idea. Okay, but that's another story for another time. Tonight, we've given you different perspective. We've shown you from a worldview, okay, the collective opinion on where we stand as a country. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is not Black. This is not what this is as a country. This is a country to further how we're being represented. Okay, and those of you that still support it are allowing this man to destroy this country. When this man gets out of office,
When he does. When he does.
yes, I said when this man gets out of office, America is going to be in a very, very destroyed position. And how we're going to get back, I don't know. I don't know. You know, they say it takes 8 years to revamp from a tragedy. Okay. What are we looking at, Charles? 16, 17, 18, 20 years to revamp from this 4-year tragedy that the spiral that we're going down? I mean, realistically, you know, I mean, we will be probably the voices of the past. Well, Charles and I may be the voices of the past, you know, when the time that the element of this change was that this country will ever need to be again. Really. And it's very sad. It is very, very, very sad, America. It is. All right. I don't want to get any deeper. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to play this one little motivation, you know, get you to reframe your thought and just kind of put it back on you, because you are the individual that this really needs to happen from. All right, here we go.
You already got everything inside of you. It's already inside of you. There's nothing in this physical universe that was ever created with anything on the outside. It's already inside of you. The issue is that it's locked up. In order to unlock it, you'd have to develop the core of the self. The core of the self is like the Rubik's Cube that unlocks this power that's just moving all through you. The confidence that you're looking for, it's inside of you already. It's not on the outside. It's not based on what you do or how many times you've accomplished or what level you got to. So you start to realize that your power is the capacity to you embodying that which you actually are. In order to get to that, we got to develop the core of the self. So comment power, and I will teach you through my free masterclass how to develop the core of the self so you can start walking in your power to help your family, help your community, help this world.
Good way to end. I mean, we couldn't say it any better.
That's right.
You know, you have the power and the will and the ability within you to make it happen, but are you willing to make it happen? Right? Change your thought, change your mind, change your heart. Okay. Look, you know what? I was gonna say look to your neighbor for the guidance, but you can't. Some of you all refuse to do that because look, here it is. Look to love. That's it. That's your mission for this week as we get ready to wrap our season next Tuesday night. Look to love. All right. Look to love. Share what you shared tonight and be here next week. Number one, to hear what our relative, our cousin has to say about her wonderful book, and to a revival of how she came back from a stroke. And we'll be digging further into, next week. But be here next week as we wrap, the season. And I'm telling you, season 7, it's going to be a different level for the truth behind the truth. Okay. We're going to a different level. All right. So anyway, you guys have a great night. Thanks for tuning into the truth behind. I know we're way over time, 17 minutes over time, but it's okay. It was needed to be said tonight. All right. Hey, nobody pays for this time but us.
That's true.
Okay. At the end of the day. All right. So we could go for 3 hours if we wanted to. All right. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. Do you have anything you want to add?
No.
Okay. Charles, you have anything you want to sign off?
No.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I know I'm kind of feeling like I'm all over the place with what I really want to say. There's a lot more I do want to say, but I can't say what I want to say because I'm in that brain. But anyway, thank you so much, guys, for tuning into the Truth Behind Truth tonight. And those of you that I mentioned earlier, those who stayed with the show tonight, Joe, and I think it was some other gentleman that was on as well. Thank you so much for tuning into the Truth Behind the Truth tonight. And we'll see you back here next week. Be safe, guys.